Greetings, family, and my sisters over here. I'd like to tap into what are fundamentals that your child needs to be school worthy.
Ooh.
That, for old schoolers, we remember when your child couldn't go to school if he didn't know how to write his name, tie his shoes, know his address, know his age, and know his phone number. Know he had to be able to count to 100 and know his colors. There's certain things that he had to be able to do, or he could not start school. He could not start. So I think one, of course, we've covered, my colleagues have covered quite, well, a lot of the fundamentals. But I think here, if you all remember back in the day when we had to teach character building, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole model for character building. And which is really great because just like our lens, we operate out of that whole child theory. So the whole idea of the beatitudes or beatitudes, and teaching character building lays the foundation for to build upon for that mother, that father, the family unit, the school, all to build on that foundation. So I said, what should that look like? And I think foremost for the parent, the student, and all those invested and involved in this child, that we want to first look at um, ownership. First, taking ownership to our own learning. And I think we can teach our children young about ownership. It's like teaching them to pick up after themselves. When you play, your ownership is in keeping your room in some kind of order. You can teach little ones as soon as they're walking. You can teach them how to pick up their things and take it over to the toy box and put it in the toy box, little baby girl. And so it's about teaching ownership. Then I think after that, one of the beatitudes or few that sticks out for me is having integrity. How do we teach our children at a young age to have integrity? What is integrity? What does that look like for a 3, 4 year old? I think it's honesty. We can teach our children to be honest, honest in things that they do or say. We don't bring that to the table too much, but that's something that feeds right into social skill building. We need to look at, like you said, honesty, integrity, they kind of go hand in hand. Being trustworthy, being consistent, being patient, and then to tie that all together, having the faith. And for our children, faith for them is belief. If we can teach them to believe that they can, and we can, and I think it's simple enough that with repetition, our children learn through repetition. And so that means the same thing over and over and over and over and over until they get it.
Yeah.
Some may get within 10 times, it may take some 20 and then some 21. But
Yeah.
we have to be consistent as and these are very basic fundamentals, which at the same time, they not only sit at the bottom of the totem pole, but they also sit at the top of the totem pole.
Yeah.
They also sit there because you want to make sure that not only are you giving your children the inclinations, but you want to really arm them with the tools. And I think those tools begin with beatitudes, with behavior, how we see, because how we see ourselves, how we teach them to see themselves is how they're going to see those that they have to
Mm-hmm.
interact. And so if we're saying that they need to know how to share, and they got to know how to just share with themselves, let alone with each other. Like my
Mm-hmm.
little grandson over here, he just keep knocking on the door. Now he ought to get after about 20 knocks. Let me wait a minute. See, so and that again is modeling for him by not answering the door, and then maybe he'll get that he's got to wait a minute while I'm in this meeting. You see that they get it, but it's us. I think the fundamentals for us as parent is consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency, patience, and again, faith that if we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, we're going to hit pay dirt.
Yes.
That's
And I think, you know, when you send your kids out, you know, give them something to hang on to, you know, even if it's when they're in the washroom washing their face and grooming themselves and getting themselves together, they should be able to look in that mirror and say, I am strong, I am
Yes.
beautiful,
Yes.
I am brave, or
Yes.
I am humble, or I am a lead. You know, give them something to hang
Yes.
on to.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, give them, you know, when my grandkids used to go out, you know, I used to always tell them, make me proud,
Right. Still do.
make me
Yeah.
proud, you know, because
And they know what
I
that means.
remind them that they're part of a circle.
Yeah.
You know, what you do reflects not only you, it reflects on the
Mm.
family.
Yes.
So make me proud,
Right.
you know, so give them something to hang on to
Yeah.
and give them, they can come up with their own things.
Yeah.
You know, have them to tell you 3 things that they like about themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you got to build that confidence.
Right.
That was very thorough. The only thing that I would add to that is love and hugs. Not
Yeah.
that, I mean, what you were describing love, but I
Yeah.
mean straightforward hug loves, like
Yeah.
give them a hug, give each other hugs. I think that I know that everyone isn't as physical with the love expression as others. We have that at different levels, but I have noticed, it seems to me that the children that I have been working with here lately, within the past, I want to say maybe 7 years, um, idling it down to current, actually seek or seem to need more hugs, more,
Mm.
and those hugs give them assurance that they're cared for. And I think that we need to remember to smile at ourselves and at our neighbors, which are our children and those are around us.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that the pressure that adults are feeling, the worldly pressures that the adults are feeling, they're expressing it and they're forgetting, and we're forgetting to smile and to express love in its simplest form, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
and
And
sometimes I even kiss myself on the arm like that to remind myself it's okay. It's okay. Stop. Don't start going into that trippy mind. It's all right.
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah. And what we don't want to do is send our children out into the world, into the school system with no confidence, because that's when they're bullied and they will be eaten up alive. So we have to make sure that we encourage that they have new experiences, because that helps them function outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
They got to function outside of their
Excited about.
comfort zone, and we have to model a confidence so that our children can also pick up on that confidence, and it cannot be a pretend confidence. We have
Oh,
to
yeah.
be able to let them be confident in doing things at home, new experiences outside of the home, so they learn how to function outside of their comfort zone, and they learn how to persevere. And when they
Yeah.
learn how to persevere and work through things, then they will gain a level of confidence.
Right.
And it's
And like,
okay if they fail. It is okay if they fail. They got to know that too. So they have to know how to be able to learn from whatever mistakes they had, and do something different. What are you going to do different?
Mm-hmm.
That's
like
how
April
we teach
said,
them
you
how
know,
to be um, confident in themselves.
like April said, you know, we can't be scared to say, first of all, I love you.
Yes. Absolutely.
A lot of kids don't hear that enough,
Mhm.
because they grow up and they wind up telling us, well, I never was told that my parents love me. I'm not sure if they love me. Tell
Yeah.
them often. I tell my children, I tell my grandchildren, I tell sisters, I love you.
Mhm.
You can get mad at me, but I still love you,
You love me?
and it's okay.
Do you?
Yes, I love you.
Thank you.
I love you, and I love you,
Thank
and
Mhm.
there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So
You really do
accept
about
it
it,
and get
right?
over it. But they have to have that also to hang on to.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right about
Well,
Okay.
having that to hang on to, because we've been knowing each other for so long, and you all even longer than I've been knowing you all, and I've been knowing you all a long time. And we've been through a lot of ups and downs. Whatever the up is and whatever the down is, no matter what it was, I knew that you loved me. And that is a powerful, strong thing to have in your repertoire, in your purse, in your bag, in your pocket, in your heart, in your mind, when you either feel alone or you feel like you're up against something that is so strong that you need to know that. I mean, even when you know that God loves you, you need to know it's comforting. Let me say that it's very, very comforting and powerful to know that there's somebody else in this world that knows you. I mean,
yeah,
that loves you.
Yeah.
yeah,
That does feel good.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. And so if it feels good to us, how about our children? It feels good to them too.
And we can think about the opposite of that. So there are
Yeah.
children out there that don't feel loved,
Yes.
or don't feel like they're loved by a parent.
Yes.
I don't know what that feels like.
Yes.
So I know what not being loved by somebody who I love feels like, but not that being a parent.
Yes.
That has to be a much stronger disappointment and
Yes.
thing to have to conquer and get over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to say on behalf of EDU Urban Coach, we're the innovators, the visionaries. We've been out here a long time in the education field as educators, administrators, philosophers, the doctor, lawyers, and all of it. And so we are very honored to be able to offer a platform that really showcases our experiences and viable solutions, which we think they are, to a problem that's not going anywhere.
Hmm.
And so, Urban EDU Coach, we now have our second edition out for teachers called Trust the Process. We're in the makings of our next book for parents, but we're constantly on the move and constantly trying to find ways, strategies, and anything that will help to change the tide and direction in which we're headed as in the educational field here in this country. We're suffering, our children are suffering out here. We know that we are not the cure-all, but we do know that because of the time and experience that we have and that we bring to the table, that we offer a viable solution, one of the solutions to how do we reclaim our children? And then how do we educate this 21st century learner who is no longer the traditional child? How do we get them back? How do we regain what is ours? So we're here, Urban EDU. You can find us at urbaneducoach.com, our website, Amazon. We have the book on sale there on Amazon. And we also have an online program that works with teacher professional development and training teachers on methodologies that would best serve this population, this generation. So join us if you will. These are a series of videos that we'll be putting out on a regular basis. Go online, YouTube. You can find us where? YouTube, Instagram, uh, you name it, you can find us. And allow us into your homes, allow us into your schools, allow us into your classrooms, and let us show you that we can go a long way with helping to turn the tides with educational reform. What about it, my sisters? What y'all